Hey friends, on today's episode, I'm taking you through my kitchen in the cabin, so stay tuned. The kitchen design started with knowing that I needed shelving, and so I actually found this really cute antique shelf at an antique mall locally, and then I also found this great little horse, which is like a little bench for a kid, and I thought, wouldn't that work great as a shelf too in my kitchen? And so I went with it. And I'm really happy that I did. I can stack my glasses on top of the shelf, and I was able to stack some canisters, one holding sugar, one holding flour, one above and one below, and it's definitely matching my circus chic theme. From there, I wanted to set up kind of a coffee station. And so I found some great hooks on Etsy and I ordered some of these. You may remember that I had some of these in my closet office makeover. Well, I put the majority of them here in my kitchen, and it's a way that I store my coffee mugs. And I take my coffee mug off every morning and make my coffee with a coffee maker that I brought from home. I also needed some art for the walls, and you know I've been taking art classes this summer. Well, I decided to use a couple of my own paintings. So there's one over by my coffee station. I found an antique frame, spray painted it red, and it has some coffee mugs on it, so it's perfect for this space. I also found another frame that I put around another painting that I just did. And this one had a bowl of lemons. I thought this is perfect for the kitchen. And while I couldn't find a frame that fit perfectly, I thought, why don't we just have this as a floating frame? And inside the canvas will float on the wall and it'll look kind of kitschy and fun. So I went with it. I was not happy with the dark knobs in this kitchen, and so I turned to Etsy again to find some cute painted wooden knobs to replace the dark ones, and it adds a little bit of pop of color onto the natural wood that's already there on the cabinets. I had enough space in this kitchen to have a kitchen island. And I was looking, hunting around, really wanting a butcher block, but they were way too expensive. And I just happened to find this at the Schuyler Pond Home and Garden barn. And one of my new friends now, Amanda, had this in her barn. I begged her to sell it to me because I thought it's the perfect size for fitting an island. And it had this great vise on the end. And so I brought it home and it just fit the space perfectly. But I decided that I wanted to add a skirt to the island. And this was one of the easiest things to do. It was a no-sew skirt. And I've become a new friend of this liquid stitch. And so I got my iron out. I creased up the fabric, and this is the same fabric I used in the dining room to cover up the chain for my chandelier. And I decided I'm going to use the same fabric. I got it at the local Joann's and just decided, okay, I'm going to get some tension rods. I'm going to glue it around the tension rod and I'm going to hem it at the bottom. And I have a really cute skirt all around three sides of my island. And I thought it's great because it softens the space. There's not so many legs everywhere with my dining room chairs right next to it. And it just added that pop of color. Something you may notice is this cute little kissing booth sign. And I found this on Etsy and ordered it. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so adorable. And I just had to have it. And I didn't know where I was going to put it. And it worked really great on my island. And it adds a little bit of whimsy to it. So one of my friends, Amanda from Schuyler Pond, came over to help style for the photo shoot. And she gave lots of wonderful styling tips. And so I thought it'd be really fun if we kind of dove inside her mind and got some cool ideas for styling.
Okay, so Wendy started with this workbench that was just a hardworking workbench. And I didn't want to sell it. And she insisted that it would be perfect for her cabin, which obviously it is. She put a skirt on it, which who would have ever done that? And then we decided to have a fun styling day. So I felt strongly that we needed to get a little bit of height because she has a beam that it sits up against. And so we put this little cabinet there that is now holding towels and a cookbook and some of her glasses and flowers, for getting different heights, because if you just had the workbench, it's just too flat. You can't see anything at eye level. It just is too flat. That's the only reason, and it helps you layer different things. It gets you more items, either even useful items, things you want to use, things you want to store, can actually be on your workbench. And I had thought of that piece because it's not too big, but it will get you some height, a different color, and it worked just perfectly. We love marble and anything white having to do with food because it looks so beautiful. And we um, made little flower arrangements out of some vintage sugar and creamers. We added some glassy baby votive holders because they're just so gorgeous. We have some beautiful floral, vibrant tea towels. They're waffle towels. They stay fluffy and full looking even after you wash them. This is a vintage flower holder, and we have we've mixed some live flowers and some fake, and don't even tell me you can tell the difference. You can't. And then Wendy had this great yellow basket up there, and we made a fabric basket. We stuffed it full of her floral fabrics, and it looks so cute. And now, a bookmark on a great cookbook. We have melamine, something that looks a little picnicky over here, and then something that's very, very nice luxury melamine. It's thick, it's beautiful, and it feels like china, but it isn't. And of course, there's the beautiful bowl, some paper napkins with ruffles, and we just added fabric to the inside of this less than pristine drawer so that we could put utensils and serving pieces on it. And I thought it'd be fun to add a chair here. So of course there is no shortage of chairs. The first thing we did besides placing the little cabinet was make it level. And never settle for it's almost level. That is true crime because you can always tell and it never feels right. So it is level. And so my favorite things on this bench is this piece of fabric because I really thought it softened what was happening here, softened the space. I love that you were able to use they're not really discarded fabrics, but your scraps of fabric, and you can make a flower basket with fabrics and you don't have to worry about watering. This is a camp you're leaving. And I do like incorporating some vintage pieces. And white. I do like white for food. So this is nice. The marble is nice. Just having, especially in a cabin as colorful as this. And that was Workbench Styling 101.
On the other side of the column, I decided to add a clock, and this is the only clock we have in the whole cabin, but it's a cute birthday cake clock that I found on Etsy, and it adds just the right amount of whimsy to this kitchen space. I needed some other art, especially for above the kitchen sink. I thought about putting in a window there. I was looking for paintings. I just didn't know what the right thing was. And then I happened to be on eBay searching, and I was looking for something vintage circus-like, vintage carnival. And I happened to find a vintage carnival sign. And this one is old and it's for tickets. And I thought, oh God, the colors are perfect. And I ordered it off of eBay and got it here. And I just knew this is the right spot for it. So that's where it went, was above my kitchen sink. I ordered another painting from Drunk Girl Designs, and this one is just as whimsical as the one that I have in my bathroom of the Frenchie. And I have another one that I'm putting in a bedroom here in my house that you'll see very soon. But these were just the right amount of whimsy. And since we're going circus chic, I thought, oh God, this has to be perfect. With all this color and whimsy throughout the entire space, what I needed was a great runner. And I found this one at Annie Selke. This is one of their Francis Valentine collaboration rugs. It is washable, it is amazing, and it is so durable. So one of the last things that I did was my refrigerator. Now I started out doing a wrap. I had pink wrap material that I had ordered from Etsy, and full disclosure, the side went on great, but the front not so much. And so this is probably one of the reasons I will never do a peel and stick wallpaper. It was very hard to get out the bubbles. It did not look good at all in the front, but the side looked great. So I decided to leave the side there, and I just ordered wallpaper from Spoonflower. And this wallpaper looked really good with my cafe curtains that I have in the kitchen. And I just decided, well, I'm just going to wallpaper the front of it and add a little bit of whimsy to it. It really does brighten up the space, and I'm really glad I did it. Overall, this kitchen space is amazing, and it really does complete this full room that I have of my living room space, my dining space, and now my kitchen. And the only thing I have left to show you in this big room is my entryway. And it's really small, but it's coming really soon. You'll have to stay tuned for that. Isn't this kitchen just so much fun now? Listen, I think all of our spaces should be so full of joy and happiness. And I can say honestly that I feel this way about the kitchen. So I'm really happy with how it looks. You'll have to let me know what you think. And guys, as a side note, my DIY upholstery course is open. This is the final day. I've got a payment plan of $39.99 for 10 months. If you're interested, I would love to have you join. I'm going to put the link down below, chairwhimsy.com/course. And I am going to have another makeover coming to you this weekend. So stay tuned, friends. I'll see you soon.